Hi, the Interaction GPS. My third grader just taught me this morning about the Interaction GPS. Did everybody know about this but me? If you know about this, you're done. You're done here. If you did not know about this, you have to learn about the Interaction GPS, even though I cannot give credit for who the heck came up with this and taught it to my kid, because my kid is clear it is not their idea, but they are unable to provide citations because third grader. The Interaction GPS. You have a GPS. I have a GPS. They were designed by different programmers because we are the programmers and they are the data compilation of our expectations of how to navigate relationships, how to navigate communication between people. It's our personal histories. It's our ideas about what this individual is like. It's our cultural construction. It's the whole data set of how it's all supposed to work, intermeshed together, but it's in our heads. It's not the actual landscape of you and me, of me and the third grader. So I'm riding my bicycle with my GPS, and my GPS in a new territory is the map I've got for how to get where I need to go. But if I'm not paying attention to the landscape as well, if I'm not taking into account the weather, of whether we're in the middle of a storm here, or whether it's a clear day where we can get away with more stress-free, if I'm not taking the real world into account and I'm just burying myself in the GPS, I'm going to run into trouble. Third grader says, I steered us right into a lake this morning. GPSs can do that because the map can be based on what used to be. Not to mention, it doesn't tell you how hard it's going to be to get up this hill and whether you've got the energy to get up this hill at this moment. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong with a GPS. Stepping outside from the metaphor here, back when we were hopping Airbnbs, there were 2 times that somebody tried to reach us. We were displaced by COVID and we needed a lot of support. Twice, people tried to reach us to help us, to get us things we needed, and they could not get to us because despite the fact that I let them know your GPS will not bring you to the back alley basement location where this Airbnb is located, despite the fact that I sent them step-by-step directions for how to actually get there, there were 2 people who were simply incapable of ignoring their GPS and spent respectively 20 and 40 minutes following their GPS in circles around and around the same tiny little 2-block area without ever getting where they needed to go. Third grader says, you need the GPS, but you've got to always remember it's not the real landscape. And you've got to pay more attention to the actual landscape wherever you are. You can't get sucked into just your GPS, especially when you're in new territory, which is when you want to rely on it the most, and also when you're in ultra-familiar territory, because the territory is always changing. You're always changing. I'm always changing. The third grader. We're organic landscapes. We get construction. We get floods. We get ice sheets. We get traffic. You can't just go by the GPS. Nearly the last thing I heard before hugging and kissing in carpool this morning was, "Ema, I wanted you to know so long, I'm almost never angry with you. But I get really mad sometimes at how you're using your GPS."